Hello, everyone. This is going to be a very quick introduction to More Purple, More Better's automated D&D 5th edition character sheet. Last time I tried to record this video, it took an hour and a half, and that was just me trying to get through the basics. This character sheet is very powerful. It has a lot of automation. It is more automated than any virtual tabletop out there. Um, it can do basically anything. In addition, you can also create and write your own homebrew stuff and then put it in there and have the character sheet automate it for you. You do have to know JSON, but it's not that difficult, and there are guides and APIs and syntax guides online for made by More Purple, More Better to allow people to add homebrew stuff. Okay, so in this video, I am just going to try to show you the very basics. I'm not going to do spellcasting. I'm not going to show you all the extra features. I'm just going to show you how to add a race, how to add a background, how to add a class, and how to add your stats, your ability scores. As a disclaimer, I'm also using version 13.0.0 beta 31. Version 12.999 is the currently most up-to-date stable release. However, version 13 is being worked on, and it is close to release and should be available to the public for free soon. TM being it could be a year from now. I honestly don't know. It's almost done, but More Purple, More Better said that like a year and a half ago. So they are very similar. Version 12.999 looks almost exactly the same. There are just a couple of interface tweaks and a couple of lots of background stuff to make especially the spell sheet load faster. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, let's open it up and look at it. Hopefully this video is not going to be longer than 10 minutes. You have to use Adobe Acrobat Reader DC, Adobe Acrobat Standard DC, or Adobe Acrobat Pro DC. On Mac, the default PDF application is Preview. It will give you a warning when you try to open it in Preview because the automation is written using some JavaScript technology that Adobe has not allowed for other people to make PDF readers that can read it. Unfortunately, they're keeping that technology proprietary. And so even though it is technically a PDF, and there are lots of PDF readers, including Chrome and Firefox and stuff, none of those PDF readers will actually be able to use the automation in this sheet. And so they might be able to open it. You might see some weird artifacting. You might see some of these text boxes even able to have stuff typed into, but none of the actual automation will be there. Okay, so basics, I usually like to start with race, but you can do it in any order. Also, if you ever have a question about how something works, hovering over it, this works on both Mac and PC, hovering over it usually will give you more information. Like if we hover over here, or we hover, I don't know from here. If we hover over here, you know, this armor will tell you stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to do a very basic one. This window is new in version 13. In version 12, it'll just apply the changes. Okay, so we added our race. You can see that it adds resistances, it adds any limited features, it adds any languages you get, dark vision down in the senses area, and on the second page, we have our racial traits. It also tells you exactly what ASIs you get. Okay, next, let's do a background. We can do Acolyte, Elvish because we're basic, and Deep Speech because we're edgy. So that'll be applied, and if you hover over it, it'll tell you that you got it from Acolyte. It says from Acolyte because you could have learned anything. This will tell you Celestial specifically because you could not have, that was not a choice you made. You just get Celestial. Okay, so now that we have Acolyte, we can see that we have some skill proficiencies. However, there are no numbers because we don't have any ability scores. Let's do ability scores next. We're going to go up to our little JavaScript window. If you rolled for ability scores, you can just change them to whatever you want. Or if you want to do point by, you can see here. It also describes everything. And as you can see in the racial bonus, it's already there. So you don't have to add it into your score base. So I don't know, let's make a cleric. Well, maybe we'll get resilient constitution later. Hit apply on that, and it'll apply our stats everywhere. We can see that in armor, we have a 0 on dex. However, we don't have any armor applied, so it doesn't show us our armor class. We also don't have a proficiency bonus because we don't have any class levels yet. But in our saving throws, we have our saving throws. In our skills, we have all of our skills. You can see that our proficiencies are not applied because we don't have any class levels yet. And if we drop in something like a, what's a good mace, that's a good cleric weapon. You can see that our to hit is calculated and our damage is calculated, but we don't have any proficiency because we don't have any class levels yet. If you do it in the other way around, it obviously will be applied. So now if we go into class and we add cleric, we do have to choose subclass at level 1. So let's do, I don't know, we're kind of going for the war domain type here. So war domain. You can see that it applies all of our proficiencies for armor, weapon, saving throws. We now have proficiency bonus on our background skills. If you hover over this, it'll tell you the skills that you get for cleric. I think I want to do history. Well, now it's a +2. And persuasion. Where's persuasion? Here. Sure. Why not? We now have proficiency in this, so we get a bonus to our to hit. There's no extra description. This is where sneak attack stuff and like Great Weapon Master would go. We also now have our passive perception. We have a proficiency bonus. We can set our max HP to something. You can have it automatically calculate, or just you can change it every time if you roll. And I don't know, clerics get scale mail, I think. So now we have a 14. That is the very basics. Okay, so I forgot one thing. This rainbow bar is super important. It controls a lot of stuff. If you ever accidentally cancel it, close it, or when you open the sheet it doesn't show up, this show extra features button on the top right hand corner of the first page can get it back. On the second page you can see we have our class features. We have our background feature here. We already went over racial traits. Our equipment section is down here. I'll be going over that. I'll be going over all of this stuff in an additional video. I'm just going to load the spell sheet. I'm not going to explain anything, just because just so we can have that shown in this video. Oh wait, hold on. I selected light again. Guidance. Okay. So the biggest difference between 12.999 and 13 is the spell sheets in 13 load instantly, and the spell sheets in 12.999 take a really long time. They look the same. They look exactly the same. They function exactly the same. They just take longer to generate. So that kind of sucks if you're a wizard and you have to regenerate it every time. So there we go. That is the basics of this automation. And I will be going over each individual thing in the future videos. So go look at my channel for those. Hopefully I have those up when you're watching this.